episode of In the Green Room Podcast Season 3. I am Brittany Shanae, your favorite podcaster. And if I'm not your favorite podcaster right now, I will be by the end of this episode. Y'all know how it goes. I got my girl, Daniella the Creator, in the house with me, in the green room with me this week. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I feel so blessed being here.
Oh my God. Girl, I feel like we've been knowing each other for a month of Sundays.
Yeah. A solid 10, maybe a little over 10, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2009 is when we first crossed paths at Fort Valley, and here we are.
I'm older than 29, so it's definitely over 10 years.
Right. That's crazy. But thank you so much for being here with me today, sitting on this green couch in this green room.
Yeah, this is so beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, the sentiment is shared.
Yeah.
So y'all know how we start every episode of In the Green Room. We have the affirmation station. We got 2 sets of affirmation cards. I'm going to shuffle. You going to pull. Then I'm going to shuffle again, and you're going to pull again. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Now, I should forewarn you that usually it's exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always happens like that.
Yeah.
So here's fortune cookies is kind of my thing.
Uh-huh.
It's not like everyone's thing, but it just always speaks for some reason.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Right on time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think one of these are flipped upside down. Yep, it is. No, this got to be your card. You're going to pull one, but look at the card that was flipped up. I am a creator.
No, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Daniella the Creator? Nah. So she's saying out, read that. And then you going to pull your own. Because what?
I am flabbergasted.
That's
okay. So can I read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything around me began as a thought. My clothes, my home, and even the roads I drove on were once just thoughts. Mm-hmm. When I take the time to contemplate my surroundings, I grasp all the thoughts that took place to create the world. Likewise, my thoughts have created things. My thoughts create my actions and thereby create my life as I know it. Therefore, I strive to think about my desires optimistically. I am a creator. That's
wild. Now that has never happened before. All right.
Out of all the cards, though.
No, for real. That's the only one that was upside down. So you hold on to that.
Okay.
All right. So now you're going to pick, because obviously God wanted that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here we go.
This one's standing out to me.
Okay.
I am healthy. I honor my body and am grateful for the work it does for me. I nourish my body through self-care. I rest when I need to rest. I eat nourishing meals when I need to eat, and I exercise when I need to exercise. I am healthy.
That's you. Well, that's you. The yoga goddess up in here taking care of your body. Body, yada, yada.
I love this.
Yeah, okay. So those are, so this week we're going to have 3 affirmations to carry y'all through the week. I love that. So we got one more.
Okay.
Let's see where it's going to take us. That's wild.
Yeah, no. And you caught that on camera too. That was great.
That's wild. All right, let's see.
Okay. This one's sticking out. Okay. Each and every day, I am getting closer to achieving my goals. And
short, sweet, and to the point.
I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
These are solid.
Yeah, these are really, really good ones.
Ooh. Okay, so y'all, these are our affirmations of the week. Make sure you refer back to the beginning of this episode. Read them out loud to yourself. Say it to yourself in the mirror. Find your reflection and speak life into yourself, because this world is not going to do it for you. It is our responsibility to affirm ourselves.
Yeah.
Welcome to this episode of In the Green Room Podcast. I cannot wait to get into it. I think it's going to be a special episode.
This was a great start.
But stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to In the Green Room Podcast. We are in season 3, y'all. 3 is the number of collaboration, community, friendships, partnerships, all of that good stuff. And season 3 has really been showing out in that way. These people that have been coming through, including you, to share your journey, your creative process. Like, I love having people on here to just freely talk about the shit that they've been through in the creative journey, because I feel like a lot of times when people finally decide that they are going to lean in and hone into their creativity, they think that it's just gone
magically,
and that is so far from the case. But again, welcome into In the Green Room podcast.
So excited.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for answering the call.
Of course.
I appreciate you.
Of course.
Like, I did a photo shoot for my brand at your apartment.
Yes, you did.
Oh my God.
I almost forgot about that.
I mean, I just appreciate you for always being so supportive.
Yeah.
Such a ray of sunshine.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to have you here to talk about who Daniella the Creator is. Yes. Now, the first question I always ask is, who is Daniella the Creator? Now, that is a very loaded question, right? So I just want you to answer it in whatever way you feel the need to answer the question. You could go in whatever direction you want to go, because I'm sure that there are 12,000 directions that you could go in. But
it is.
If you could tell the audience who you are, what would that be?
So Daniella the Creator, it has actually just transformed.
Yeah.
I think like month or maybe year after year, something is just, I'm always evolving, right? But right now, the person that I just see that I am is just this light and this healer in all spaces. Yep. Outside of me even being a creator, I just think that what comes from my creations is a lot of healing. Yeah. So I want to be able to speak to not just, the people that are okay in society's eyes, but to everyone. Yes. And I think being able to create and show people that it's okay to be yourself, I think that comes out as a form of healing for a lot of people. And I think that's just who I am. I think that's my purpose. Yeah. I've taken that on and I'm just like ready to continue with that. Period. Yeah. Yeah.
I can resonate with you in that. Especially when you have so many creative outlets. Yeah. And when you know yourself and you have those creative outlets, people naturally find healing through music, for instance, how we were just talking about whatever song was playing before and it makes your hair that's a form of healing. And so being able to showcase and put out the gifts that you have, you're going to be able to touch somebody. And maybe somebody that's looking for somebody that looks like them, that they can't really identify in their home or in the spaces that they go to or they visit. They might feel by themselves or alone, but for somebody that is a creative, I feel like it's almost our responsibility. Yeah. Even if we don't know that we are healers, even if we don't know what the purpose is directly, it is part of our responsibility not to hold on to the gifts that we have, but to put them out there. Yep. And it's beautiful that you recognize that. Yeah. Where you from?
It's hard to do it now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So before I even get into the where you from, what was that journey like to getting to the point where it's like, okay, I am what I am. Yeah. This is what I do. This is part of my responsibility. Like, to your point, it is hard. Yeah. How did you get there?
Well, initially when I started, it was about me. Yeah. I was very selfish in the beginning where I was just like, I want to do this for myself. Yep. I want to get nice pictures. Yep. I want to create this. Yep. And as I continued with my journey, I started to get comments from certain women or women who would come up to me outside in the public or DMs or emails that I would receive. And I'm just like flabbergasted. Yeah. Like, I didn't know that I was touching you guys like this. And now it became into like a journey of like, okay, how can I reach these people and it be authentic? Yep. And it also served me at the same time. Yeah. So that transition was a little bit hard. Because I mean, we naturally think about ourselves a lot, right? So transforming that and just making it my duty to just serve my people is just, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So what was the first, well, let me ask, if you could list out all of the things and the gifts that you had, the things that you do, because your name is Daniella the Creator.
Yeah.
Right? So what are the different, I would say, expressions that you have?
Wow. Just like everything that I can create.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So model, influencer, content creator, creative director. I played clarinet for years. I played a little bit of the sax. People don't know that.
Oh my God.
So I could play instruments.
Yeah.
I took art classes in high school and in college. So I can actually draw a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not bad. And then I've been taking on photography. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Editing people's content has been a lot of fun as well. So I'll have some people say, hey, send me some of your videos. And I would just create their reel for them and I'll send it back. So I've done it a lot for my friends as well. So I'm just always in a space of just creating.
Yeah.
My home is my creative space.
Yeah.
Like you come in and just like, girl, you got some 1950s suitcases in the corner.
Sure do.
I have like different things. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that is around me is always, I'm always trying to stay in a creative space. So not to mention songwriting, but that was back in the day. So that's not current. Yeah. But I would still like to tap into that too.
So a Jill of many trades.
Yes, a lot.
Many. But again, that's the purpose of this podcast is to talk about the many different things and how you're able to use all of your different gifts to get to, and I don't like to say to get to a destination because I feel like there's always room to grow and there's always somewhere else to go and it's always evolving. What, out of those gifts, which gifts do you think have helped the other one more? Like, okay, so you're a model. How has that helped you in the influencer game? And how has that helped you in the creative direction game?
Yeah.
Because let me just say that I started in makeup, right? But I always used to take selfies. I used to always take.
It was always good.
Thank you. But I didn't think that, or I just never even placed myself in the category of a model, right? But when the opportunity presented itself to get in front of the camera instead of doing the makeup behind the camera, it was like I already knew how to do it because I've been watching these models. And then the same thing with creative direction. When I'm at these shoots, I'm taking, this could be here. This could be, you know what I'm saying? And then I went to a photo shoot one time. I'm literally just there to help out my friend. I'm not makeup. I'm not none of that.
Yep.
The models get on set and I turn into a pose coach. But when you're observing all of those things, it just naturally, So in what ways do you feel like some gifts have, fed into others?
So the creative directing, knowing that part I'm able to creative direct my own shoots, my friends' shoots, and then also with the posing as well, because I've modeled, I know how to pose. So I'm able to show other people how to pose. And then I'm able to just know how to shoot. I don't need any, coaching. I don't need any guidance. I just go in and I just do what I do. The influencing, you kind of have to have a lot of confidence to just constantly be in front of a camera and to express yourself in front of thousands of people. So even having that confidence translates into modeling. So I think that those three for sure are I'm always pulling from different sides of it. So,
and you do a lot of different type of modeling. What got you into that form of expression?
Wow. So initially when I started modeling, it's no secret. It was kind of like artistic nude modeling. I did a lot of figure drawing modeling. So I was in like these private shows where people would come in and they paint. So that is what truly brought me out of my shell.
Okay.
I was able to just find the courage within myself, the bravery within myself. And I'm just like, y'all gonna get all these juices and all these rolls and all this back fat. Y'all getting all of it, right? And that has been, I'm trying to get back to your question.
How did you get into it? Now, real quick, before you answer, how did you get into it? What was the conversation that you had with yourself before that first nude modeling gig?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, society is taught to put on clothes.
Yeah.
Cover yourself up. Be like everybody else. But I'm sure you had to dig deep to find the, I mean, beyond just posing for someone that's going to be painting. You're posing for somebody that is painting in front of people.
Yeah.
So it's not just you and one other person. It's you in a room full of people. What were those conversations like with yourself?
Oh, man. I never, ever wanted to be in a box. I never. Like, I see the box. I see everybody in it. And I'm just like, that's a little lame.
Right,
why I can't go outside the box? You know what I'm saying? And liberation, man. Just being able to just free myself and just say, you know what? If I can take everything, if I love myself, it don't matter what nobody in this audience 100%. Says. It doesn't matter what nobody outside of this audience says, because I love myself and I love where I'm at. Yeah. And I always had to stay in that space where it's like, you love yourself, you are free, you are liberated, and you're going to show people who you are. And you're going to inspire the masses while you do it. So that is always, that was a constant conversation I had, was just be free, be yourself, and have fun.
But there's always a dialogue that you're having.
Yeah.
Because self can get in the way of self.
Oh, yeah. And if I'm not feeling it, and this is the thing with creatives, sometimes we're not in that space. Yeah. Yep. I found myself, I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. Yeah. And if I'm not creating anything. Correct. Because I don't want anything to just sound fake or it's not real. Because people can tell. Yeah. Everything that I put out there is authentic. Yep. I'm always in a good space when I create it. Yeah. So I always just want to make sure I'm in that space. Yeah. Of just being positive with my content. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So was the nude modeling the first type of modeling that you got into? So you was like, fuck it, I'm making a jump.
I jumped out the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. So was the transition from starting there into modeling for shoots clothed and then eventually getting to the partnerships with the bigger brands, was it a hard transition?
Absolutely. My audience was used to seeing what they saw. So when my content shifted, it's just kind of like those people who were so used to seeing me in that manner was just like, oh, this is not the person that I was following. This is not the person I was supporting. They fell by the wayside. Yeah. That's good for me. Yep. I only want people that's just going to be there with me through my journey, my elevation. Yeah. And a lot of people stuck around and they were happy to see that transition. Yeah. Now, it was hard because people had to get used to it. And then also with myself, I had to really learn how to model at that point, because it's different with modeling and influencing and editorial work. Like that is completely different from doing like artistic nudes. It's different. Yeah. You're more flowy with your body with artistics and you can close your eyes and you can be in these weird, crazy, nice poses. Modeling, now you have to try to model the clothes that you're wearing. And if I wasn't wearing any clothes, I'm like, I don't know how to model this. Yeah. So I had to YouTube University. I had friends that were in the business. So I talked to my friends and I was just able to really soak up a lot of things. Yeah. I attended a couple of my friends' photo shoots and I'm like, let me just watch and pay attention and see how it works with makeup artists and photographers and when they have stylists that come in. All of that, I was not, I didn't know anything about that.
It was fresh.
Was like, dang, I done been in the camera for years, in front of the camera for years, but I don't know this side.
Right.
It took a lot of work to learn all of that. But once I was able to step in and tap into it was up from there.
Was there a moment where you was like, damn, maybe I should just do nude modeling? And that's it. Love that. Love that.
I loved being in that space. But once I was done with it,
that was it. Yeah, I love that. So you're a student of the game.
Yep.
That's what it sounds like.
I took what I needed in that space. And in that time, that's what my soul wanted.
Yeah.
It needed that freedom. It needed that liberation. It needed that. You know what I'm saying? But once it was over with, that was it.
So did the amount of eyes that suddenly were on you, how did you deal with that? Was it welcomed? Like, were you just welcoming of it?
I was.
I love you.
I was. And now some people, they weren't welcoming of it because they're like, oh, that's what you used to do. And especially if I'm trying to book different gigs and the only work I have is artistic mood. So what do you really have?
Yeah.
So that part was different.
Right.
But for the most part, I think people kind of welcomed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I always wonder in any new space if there is a level of imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Because of course you're trying to make this huge transition into now taking another facet of modeling seriously, but now your portfolio doesn't represent that. So it's like you trying to hit the ground running again. Yeah. Did you although, you were like, okay, I need to get this done. Were there moments where it was overwhelming to you and you had those spaces where it's just like, all right, I might get back to it next week, but right now I just don't want to be involved with this? Yeah,
I got discouraged a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of pushed me to just say, I don't want to do it anymore. I would say that for like a couple weeks. Didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to respond to any emails just because I didn't feel comfortable yet. It was rough. I will say that. And, sometimes as creatives, we do beat ourselves up sometimes. And I just didn't think I was like truly ready. I'm a person where it's just like, if I want to play an instrument, I'm going to the next show and I'm gonna act like I play this instrument. But I didn't feel like it was natural for me. So I really had to take a step back and just say, is this really what you want to do? And when I really set my eyes on it, I was like, okay, learn. Soak up what you need to soak up. If this is what you like, this is what you love, do it. So I did have a space where I was just like, I didn't think I was good enough. But
it sounds like you actively did the work.
I did.
Active. How important was doing that work to you? And not just in modeling, but in all your creative processes in life in general. How important is the work? And one thing that I want to say before you answer that is I'm so excited that there is more dialogue now. Especially between Black people about doing the work, because we can literally just give up and go do a 9-to-5 or do what grandma used to do or do what mama and daddy said you're supposed to do but that work is going to help you understand what work you got to do. And it's not a fast process. It's not a fast process, and it's always happening. So again, how important was the work to you as a person, to you as a creative, to you and your many gifts and your talents?
So with doing the work, I say this to everyone, whatever you feeding out into the universe is going to come back to you. If you're not doing the work, it's not going to happen for you. That's just what it is. I think people just want to say, oh, I want to do this. And then they just expect for it to fall in their lap. It doesn't work like that. Even for people who are religious, it's the same way where it's just like with God, you have to put in the work. You have to show that you're disciplined and that you're dedicated, and then you're going to welcome in those blessings. So that's how I see it with my career and my creativity is I have to consistently put in the work. Because I don't think that I'm going to receive anything if I don't. So that's
it's a give and take.
It is.
It's a give and take.
You cannot keep taking from the universe and expect for you to continue to get blessed. It's not going to happen that way.
We're going to run dry, baby.
Nope.
You can't
I will put in the work. I will do it. I will be disciplined. I will, and as hard as it is to be disciplined and taking certain things out of your life that you don't need, that doesn't serve you.
Yeah.
That can be very difficult.
Yeah.
But once you get the reward in the end, then you're like, this is what it was for. This was all a part of the process.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of times, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of times, but sometimes, as soon as you drop that one thing that you was supposed to drop, it's like almost an immediate.
Yep.
Like an immediate, you wake up the next day and you get a phone call or an email from, oh, so it was that?
Yep,
that was
that
in the way?
Yep.
Oh.
You needed to create some space.
And I be trying to tell people, like, just focus on one thing that you want, right?
Yeah.
One thing. It can be something small or it can be something big, but just choose to focus on one thing. Put all of your energy into that one thing. And the things that are not supposed to be in your life that are aligned with that one thing, it'll start feeling like friction.
Mm-hmm.
It'll start but you have to be open and you have to listen and you got to be still and you got to listen.
Being still.
That's a hard one because there is so much noise. Social media is noise. Outside is noise. Music is noise a lot of times. So you got to be conscious of listen.
You can be your own noise.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
So, doing all of those things, you'll start feeling the friction. And if you are feeling the things that are supposed to work in your life, they are not supposed to be easy, but they are supposed to flow with ease. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if things are not flowing with ease, a new relationship, a new job, whatever, if it is not flowing into your life, it is time to let it go. Yeah. So once you start releasing those things, that one thing, it's like, if you see this one thing happen and you experience a miracle, that one thing, you should want to keep doing it over. It's
like, dang, is this the process?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. What I need to read out of my life? Who got to get cut off?
Listen, because I'm a student. Like I said, you a student of the game. I'm a student of the game. I'm paying attention closely. Mm-hmm. What's working? Oh, this is working?
Yep.
Let me stop doing that over there. Mm-hmm. Do you journal?
I do.
I do. That's one of my favorite releases to do. Because a lot of times it's hard to talk to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is hard. And a lot of people, we've been conditioned as a people to not talk, to hold stuff in, and I opened this, I had a journal, and it was one of those journals where I would write maybe 2-3 days, and then I would put it down, and then next day, 2 months then went by, and then I'll pick it back up, write a few days, and then, so at the end of my last relationship, I made it my duty. To really
intentional about it.
Yes. Yeah. And it has really made, I feel like, all of the difference. Now, I don't write every single night. If I'm not in the mood to write, I'm not going to force myself to write. But most nights I write at least 3 to 4 days a week. But I feel like it has helped me grow and improve and to figure out what it is I really want. Do you feel like you journaling and having that release has helped you to hone in and put your energy into the things that you want and start dismissing?
Oh, yeah. With my journaling, I don't even just say what's on my mind. I also just say, I want this, I want that. And I'm able to revisit it. Like this is something I showed to like a couple people on social media. It was like, look, this is what's happening in my life. Yeah. I journaled this like a year ago. So even going back to that, it's just like, it's not even just you journaling your thoughts, you're journaling your manifestations. Yeah. And then also, this has nothing to do with it. What kind of? But your motor skills. Yeah. Think about how people may or may not know how to spell if they're writing. They don't have autocorrect. And this is also something I do it to sharpen, to keep my skills sharpened. Because I have found before I started journaling, I was like, how you spell that again? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have that phone. You don't have your autocorrect anymore. So I think it's very important, like as we get older, start writing stuff out more. So that has really helped.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. But that's actually factually. Because you write something down, you're like, oh, that don't look.
Or I wrote that a little ugly. Why do I write my G like that? You know?
Really? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Fashion designer.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I could tell.
Yeah, I wanted to sew everything.
Yeah.
Like I had drawings. My grandmother bought me a sewing machine.
Yeah.
I didn't sew anything more than just pillows.
Okay.
They were some fire pillows. Though.
Yeah.
But that's
why you complimented this pillow when you came over here.
I could sew this.
Right.
I could sew this pillow.
Yeah.
But fashion was my thing when I was maybe 7 to maybe 12.
Yeah.
I was really in on wanting to do it. So
are you from Atlanta?
Born in Germany originally.
Okay.
I spent maybe 3 years there, and then my mom flew us back to the States. So I've been in Georgia basically my whole life.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was it kind of strange starting your modeling career at home?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, not really. Atlanta's a weird place.
Yeah.
And it's very superficial.
Yeah.
So kind of fighting those people who have closed minds, that was a little bit difficult because it's like, why can't you just see what it is?
Yeah.
Like, why do you, and then if you don't want to see it, why do you care so much?
Yeah.
So
that part.
Yeah. So Georgia can be a little, I mean, Atlanta specifically. I don't know outside of Atlanta, but just here, it was a little bit difficult because people had to accept it.
Yeah.
People who loved it, they loved it. But people who hated it, hated it.
And I just don't understand why if you hate something, you just don't scroll past or just don't say shit.
Like, why do you care so much? It's not going to change nothing in your life.
People are weird.
I'm not taking no money out your pocket.
Right. And it's so easy to just not.
Literally.
Just so easy to just not. Now, you said you wanted to be a fashion designer. So when did the desire to be a model come in?
Ooh, so it started with the music.
Okay.
So as a teenager, that's all I wanted to do. So I did my instruments and I was in band and marching band and all that. So that was for a very long time.
Yeah.
College, not so much.
Okay.
So I wasn't in the band in college and I didn't do any fashion designing or modeling then. So right after I left school is when I was like, I think I kind of want to take a stab at this and see where this goes.
Yeah.
But it was just light at that point. I got in a relationship. We were together for 4 years. And then after that relationship, I was like, I spent those good 20s in a relationship and I didn't even really know myself. So about 2016 is when I kind of like transformed out of that. And I was able to really find myself. So yeah, that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
I didn't even start early. It was like mid to late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love starting it late.
Yeah.
It ain't never too late to, if you got a dream, you got to go. It don't matter.
There is no time limit.
No.
And don't let anybody put a time limit.
No. And like, in order to make something happen, I mean, they talk about being delulu. Like you have to tell your brain something that does not yet exist, right?
Yeah.
So you are tricking your brain. Your brain is going to believe whatever it is you tell it. Literally, whatever it is. So if you telling your brain you ain't shit, I ain't shit. If you telling your brain that, your brain is going to believe that.
Yep.
So why not try to tell your brain, even if you are 38, I am a model. I am a model. I am a model, okay?
It's literally mind over matter.
Yes.
And even people say that all the time, but they don't really pay attention to that statement.
No, they don't.
It really is your mind. Whatever you think it matters way more than what is presented. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to have a strong mind for what you want. So.
Yeah. That's what this whole process is about. Like believing, working, doing, do. The do is the work, the actual pursuing of that said dream, goal, whatever it is. So you are so unapologetic. Like,
I don't care.
When I tell you that I love that about you, because so many people are afraid because of what society might potentially say or what their mama might say or what the church might say or where did that come from?
being told who I was, and even though it was incorrect, people telling me this is who you are, this is what you should do.
Hold on.
Is it burning your plant?
Yep, we about to start a fucking brush fire up in here.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry. Okay.
Unapologetic.
Yes.
So for so long, many years, people are just telling me who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to go to school for.
Yeah.
Once you get done with school, then you're going to do this.
Yeah.
You should live here, or this is who you're going to marry.
Yeah.
I've been told what I'm supposed to do. And I'm like, why can't I do what I want to do? And once I started doing things that I wanted to do, I started just finding peace in that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to chase this peace no matter what. I'm going to chase this feeling, this happiness that I have. And if I got to say F it to everybody who has something to say, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So, and then at the end of the day, I just have this thought in my head, and I'm like, what you going to do? You going to fight me?
Their part.
What are you really going to do?
Yeah.
And people are not going to do anything to you. They're going to talk. So, and for me, we go either way, whatever you want.
Listen.
I'm healing. Look, God's still working on me. But I'm saying, like,
listen,
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
If I don't do what you want me to do, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And
absolutely
just saying
nothing.
that to myself is just keeps me going.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like it's really a breath of fresh air.
Yes, it is.
I also preach authenticity. Like it's so important. And we were talking earlier about how, creators, I feel like it's our responsibility to put our creativity out. I also feel like as also creatives, but influencers or people with any type of following, and especially if that's something that you desire, something that you want, I feel like it is our responsibility to be authentic, to be true, to be free, to be all of these things, because whether we want it or not, and that's why I say people who want the or desire to be in the spotlight, there are people that, like you said, you get DMs, you get messages from people. There are people who they need to see somebody who looks like them, somebody who sounds like them, somebody who has been through a similar struggle as them. And also like in like the mental health field, like not field, but the mental health conversation.
Yeah.
The fact that more people are now speaking about their mental health struggles. I have spoken to so many people that have said they did not realize that they were so depressed when they were younger, but now they know what depression looks like, what it feels like. I was a depressed ass little middle schooler. Yeah. My room used to be filthy. I used to just lay in the bed in the dark, and I just thought that, okay, I'm just whatever I thought it was. And then growing up, reading books, being educated, I now see that
that's what
I was battling real ass depression. So again, I feel that like it's our responsibility to be authentic in our journeys and in the things that we've been through in our lives, because there are people that need us.
We have a duty.
Yeah. And you said that you feel like you're a healer.
Yeah.
And that's part of a healer's responsibility is to be open, to be free, to be authentic, to speak about the struggles that they've been through. Because the reason why, I'm going to say us healers, because I believe I'm a healer as well. I feel like the reason why we as healers, we go through the things that we go through, we battle the things that we battle, is because there is somebody that needs us as an example. Did you ever feel like it was a weight instead of a free-flowing duty?
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
Because I always made sure that I fed myself first.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't feel like a weight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I felt like I can't give someone something that I don't have myself.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I was ready to give it to someone,
Yeah.
I was able to help them and be there for them. It was out of a space of my cup is full now. I'm ready to give you some of this because I've already given some to myself.
Yeah.
So it never felt like a weight.
Good.
And just even hearing people's responses and just saying, you know, people have contemplated suicide and have popped up in my DMs and just said, I didn't love myself and I'm seeing you and you love yourself. And I was just like, what?
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? That impact alone
Yep.
is what keeps me going because there's a little girl out there that wants that inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing it for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you always make sure that you feed yourself first. What are some of those ways that you feed yourself?
Oh, yoga.
Yeah.
Meditating.
Yeah.
A little bit of isolation too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tend to just cut off my phone. I lock my doors.
Yeah.
I'm isolated.
I think that's important.
I'm not outside.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking some real time with myself. Also spending some time outside too.
Yep.
But not around people, but more so like nature, going to a park, taking a walk. I have a very hyper dog. So taking him out and
I
just
met your dog.
You did.
Yeah, I met your dog.
He was a lot smaller then. He's a little bit big now.
Oh, big dog.
Yeah. But just getting that sunlight and that vitamin D and just getting that to your body. What does it do on the serotonin and your endorphins? So all of that, once I feel full after taking those steps, writing, reading. I'm now reading this book called The Inner Work.
Do you know who that's from?
I can't give you the name because it's 3 names. You know how they cite authors and it's like the last. So it's not one author. You have got to read that.
So
book.
Whenever we'll discuss, I'll add it in the description as well. We love good reads over here.
Yeah, that's been really helpful. Yeah.
How has yoga affected the way you navigate through life? Like I think I need to incorporate more yoga because I mean, I'll add some yoga stretches in when I do a good big stretch, but sitting in a full yoga session, that's not something that I frequent. I'm more of a, let me get that shit out by hitting a punching bag. Yeah. You know, that's my type. And that's how I find release. But yoga, I've heard so many. Yeah. And I love the way you're smiling.
I'm so excited. I love yoga so bad. I love yoga. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Man, I probably almost in every yoga session that I have with myself, I probably cry every time I do yoga.
Oh, so it's a good release.
Yes. Like it's that in even doing a pose that I couldn't do in the previous session. And now I'm able to do it. Yeah. Now I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think I could do that. Yeah. So just finding the strength in that and the growth in the process. Like now I'm not a pro. Yeah. Get me wrong.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I can hang with the toughest. Yeah. You know, I now love hot yoga. Oh. So can be a little tough. Yeah. Like 94 degrees. Yeah. And it's hot
sweltering
in that room. Hot. But even finishing that is just beautiful. Yeah. So I'm like, I did it. Yeah. I accomplished something. Yeah. And then also being the only big girl in the room.
And keeping up with all.
The only big girl in the room doing the same poses everybody else is doing. Yeah. That in itself is beautiful. Yeah. And I love seeing other plus size, like younger yoga instructors and yogis. I'm like, you better.
Because the stigma is.
It is a stigma.
If you got weight on your bones,
you can't do it.
Child, please. I've seen the videos that you post, like you move. Yeah. And I'm a part of a community called Motion the Community. We're big on moving the body, feeling free, expressing yourself. And that's why I get so inspired by you in all ways. Yeah. Because you are, you're unapologetic. You're free. But it wasn't until recent where I felt like I've been my truest, freest, authentic, feminine, sexual, like, I feel like I just settled into my femininity, like in the truest.
Don't it feel good?
And this is, when I see you, I feel like you embody all of those things, because also, you know, okay, so you did the nude modeling. That's taboo, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm putting it in big air quotes, right? But you also speak freely about sexuality. Yeah. And that is taboo. Although, you know, people might talk with their girlfriends. Yeah. They might post a little meme or something like that. But you speak so openly and freely about sexuality, sensuality, self-love, self-care, all of these things. Yeah. Why is being that open and free so important to you as, I would say, a divine feminine?
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for that. This is actually funny. I've been abstinent, so I actually do not.
But that's the time.
And that's why. That's
the time.
There we go. I've been abstinent, so I've been finding so much peace in that, and I actually feel even more sexy in that, because the power that you have, you know, and then just the self-care, the self-love with your sexuality, and just knowing your body, just falling in love with a lot of women, they don't love who they see in the mirror, you know, and a lot of, we search for validation in partners and sexual experiences, and we don't have the power in that. So it's good to have that power. Take that shit back. Yeah. Can I cuss?
Yes.
Take that shit back. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's yours. Yeah. So now you can speak freely. Now you can talk about it. I can talk about it all day. People might think, or they see my content, she a hoe, she do this, and don't even know I'm not having sex. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So and it's because I have the power of my own sexuality. Yes. You don't own that. Yes. So no, I think everybody should just feel very comfortable in themselves and take that power back, man. Yeah. Especially us women.
Yeah. So I've been doing I've been reading, girl. Well, I've been listening. I my eyes bad. I can't. It's real blurry right now. Okay, but so I listen to a lot of audio books. Listen to podcasts. But the conversation about being abstinent and feeling so strongly and feeling so confident and I have been abstinent. Yeah. And in my abstinence, that has been the time where I felt like my power, it's like I'm about to go fucking Super Saiyan in this, like, but I feel like invincible, if you will. And I know myself. Yeah. I know myself. So it's like all of the work that has been done in all of the other places in my life and adding this piece onto it, it feels good. Yes, it does. Like it feels good. And I've been a people pleaser. I've been one that looked for validation in partners. I've been the one who my love language is words of affirmation, but I've been the one that depended on, oh, you look good today, or you know, all of these. I've been there. Yeah. And I realized, again, that it no longer served me. So it had to fall off so that I can get to that next step. And it's not the next step career-wise. They go along with each other, but it's the next step in my spiritual journey. The next step in knowing who the fuck Brittany Shanae is. Because at the end of the day, if, like you said, if you don't know yourself, like, people can play you like a puppet.
They sure can.
And there is no room for that. No. And no, like never again. No. I now can recognize that through my abstinence, which is causing me to be still, which is clearing up space in my mind that I can. It all work together, y'all. Like, listen, when brands started reaching out to you to promote toys and all of those things, were you just like, okay, let's do it, I'm ready? Or was it
it wasn't hard. Because I mean, I use sex toys every day.
Yeah.
So it's like, just because, just because I am abstinent doesn't mean I don't want to orgasm.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
But that's in my time.
Yep.
That's when I have the power to control that.
Yeah.
And there is self-love in that.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
So anytime somebody reaches out, I'm like, these are my rates. Let's start there.
Yeah.
And then go forward from there. But I'm very careful about which company I work with, though.
Yeah. Did you find it hard? Because you have a manager now, right?
Yeah, I do.
When you first started being approached by these brands,
mm-hmm.
and you were Daniella the Creator by yourself, you didn't have the advice of somebody else. Do you feel like brands were trying to take advantage of you by giving you one number and thinking that you were going to be okay with it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll lowball you all the
mm-hmm.
time, especially if you're a Black creator.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that one. They don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
But the Black creators get lowballed.
Yeah, I've read about it. I've
TikTok.
Yeah.
All of it.
So how did you put your foot down? What were those conversations like? And when you established what your rates were,
mm-hmm.
did you find that you were then being contacted by bigger brands? It's like, once you look, this is what it is,
mm-hmm.
and this is my value, this is my worth. So now I'm gonna attract. I mean, again, like what you put out, you're gonna receive. So what was that process and what was that journey like?
So it took a while, because at first I would just take it. They'll tell me, yeah, I'll pay you $200,
mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, to do this. And
mm-hmm.
I'll just say, oh, it's $200. I could probably, pay my car insurance with this. And I wouldn't think, I'm creating all of this, I'm promoting, and you're going to be generating sales off of what I'm doing. So that little $200,
yep.
I started to really see the value in my work, especially when I started getting, educating myself more,
mm-hmm.
and I started gaining more knowledge on the editing process,
mm-hmm.
and when to post and how to engage with your followers.
Yeah.
Once I really started learning that, no, I put my foot down. It's either you can pay it or you can't.
Yeah.
And that's just bottom line.
Yeah.
So, and if I go a month where things are a little tight, it's okay, because the next month, those blessings are rolling through. You know what I'm saying? So I just make sure that I know exactly what I want, what I need. I put my foot down and I stand on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. What was the brand that reached out to you and you was like, oh shit, I'm that bitch? What was that first one that made you feel like, okay, so it's all making sense now?
The first one. Okay. So do you know the brand Fashion to Figure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this brand reached out, and this is after I had been making the transition from nude modeling to influencing and all that. So I was just waiting for like a brand that everybody knew, that was mainstream, that, did plus size fashion, that would actually accept me.
Yeah.
And when they reached out, I was like,
me?
This girl?
Watch
me?
the microphone.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Me? I'm like, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I was so confused, but then I knew that it was destined.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is Fashion to Figure. This is not, a small brand. This is a big brand. Yeah. So I was pretty happy about that. I'm like, okay, let's keep going. It's making sense now. Yeah.
And then they just
kept
coming in. They kept coming in. What has been your favorite partnership so far?
Ooh,
it's been a lot of them.
It has been a lot. I love working with This'll Inspire.
This'll Inspire.
Yeah.
What kind of brand is that?
They're a lingerie brand, and they're based out of New York, and they're a female-owned brand.
Oh, yeah.
They're so fun to work with. I love their designs of their work. Now, have I seen other companies try to bite off their style a little bit? I have.
Of course.
But everybody knows who the OGs are. And This'll Inspire has some beautiful pieces, and they're just easy to work with.
Yeah.
They're very kind. They respond quickly. They repost everything that I post. They love my content.
Yeah.
And I feel like the things that I create, it just aligns with their brand.
Yeah.
So I love working with them.
Yeah. I love that. And that's important. the brand aligning with your brand. Because, coming into content creation, I know I've fallen victim. Like you said, they gonna throw me a little 200, 250.
Yeah.
And you look back on it and it's just like, now, did that even make sense for what I'm doing over here? Yeah, it was a cool 250, but...
And you know what's crazy? Back then, when I was charging that price, right? There's brands still using my content to this day off of what they paid me years ago. $200. I ain't gonna call the brand out because, I don't want to mess myself up. But the fact that people are still using my content from years ago, it's like, okay, yeah, I can't even do that no more.
Which speaks to the fact that you need to be charging these brands what you are worth. Like, cause what?
Yep. And I
2
can't
years
do nothing
later,
about it.
Because it was probably in the contract.
Yep.
Oh, there's this podcast called Content Queens. And it's this chick named Notorious KIA. Have you ever seen her?
That
She does.
Sounds very familiar.
She thrifts a lot and she makes all of these creations, but she's represented by Kensington Gray now, and she does a lot. But the other chick, her name is Vic Styles, and she is in the cannabis industry. So they came together and they created this podcast, and it's just putting you on Black women content creators, what we're worth. They bring in other content creators. Yeah, it's in. I'm not sure if they're working on another season. I hope they are. They have 2 seasons so far. But that podcast helped me so much in entering the content creation space because
there's so much to learn.
I've been creating content since like the inception of YouTube. I was making videos with my best friends, like cutting them up, chopping them, putting it out there. And it wasn't until the end of 2022, going into 2023, I was like, okay, Brittany, let's take this seriously. Let's do this for real. And I finally got into the space where, okay, Brittany, you can do this for real. But that podcast came in at a time where I had so many questions, because a lot of times it's weird, but sometimes content creators don't want to share information. And I think it's in the same with the beauty industry. Sometimes makeup artists don't want to share what products they use, or hairstylists and I think that is the stupidest shit ever.
They blocking their blessings doing that.
Exactly.
Because what is it going to do to you?
Nothing at all, and it's more than enough money
out here. But it's about keeping people exactly where you want them to be at. That's what it is.
Say it again,
and anytime somebody asks me questions, I'm like, sis, this is what I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, my agency, and including my dad's he's into finances, and he's just like, stop giving out the game for free. So he's trying to talk me into kind of creating something where people can actually just purchase a package.
Like a guidebook.
So that's what I'm working on now. But as of right now, if you ask me what camera I use, I'm gonna tell you what camera I use. You tell me what app, I'm gonna tell you the app I use.
But I feel like those, now when you get into the nitty gritty about negotiating brand deals, those are the types of things that you can monetize. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to simple stuff like what camera,
I'm not gonna hide that from you.
And the reason why I brought that up is I wanted to ask about the community.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you found a community? So you have several different niches, right? You started in the nude modeling. Was there a community there?
Yeah.
That you could lean on? And I'm sure that is a great thing to have, because stepping into something, again, that's taboo, there are so many people on the outside that are, you want to have somebody that's there for you. So it's good that you had community there.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you had community. So
I had a lot of community with the new modeling.
Yeah.
Too. like a lot of people that were also doing the same things that were just like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Is this going to be fine?
Yeah.
Or if you don't need to do this, if a photographer's asking you to do that, tell them no.
Yeah.
Like I had people in my corner just kind of guiding me.
Yeah.
I made a couple mistakes, of course, but for the most part, having those people in your ear that's just like, you can do this.
Yeah.
And everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to say no if you're uncomfortable. So that was good to have.
Good. Now, when it comes to, I see I feel like you do a lot of photo shoots with some of the same girls that, I'm not going to say a lot, but I've seen some photo shoots that you've done with some of the same women. Is that more of a community for you as well? Doing shoots together? Yeah.
I love that. Like, I don't like people that are stuck up.
Yeah.
I hate mean girls.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person where I'm the one that's like taking up for people who are getting bullied. I don't like that energy from women.
Yeah.
So when I have certain other models and other influencers who are set on their work, whatever you're doing is not affecting what they're doing.
Yeah.
I love women like that because we can collaborate. We can say, hey, we can make some money off of this, or we can generate some content, or we can get some followers off of this, and we can see it and not think about the competition part of it. And well, this person got less followers than me. I don't want to do it because then it's just going to they're going to get my followers. Like the way people who think like that is so weird to me. So I when I find those group of women, when I meet somebody who's open to just doing collaboration, like let's get some cool shots. I'm sticking by them. Yeah. All that mean girl stuff, please stay away from me.
Yeah, nah. I mean, you can, especially when you know who you are, you can see straight through them people. You are an insecure little puppy.
You gotta vibrate a little higher, baby, to reach me. And if you down there, babe, we're not gonna ever see eye to eye.
Have you had any bad experiences with those types of?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Where in the game when I was starting and wanting to really get my foot into the door, I was asking questions and I was getting short responses and it was weird.
And a lot of times they are intimidated because they see the hunger. They see the hunger. They see the talent. They see your light. They see something that I've learned in my healing journey is that, you know, your light is going to illuminate and bring more light to other people. But it's also going to aggravate the hell out of some dark. Oh, it's going. Oh, it's
disrupting. They whole day is disrupted. They don't even know how to move forward.
No,
they can't eat their food. They can't talk to their mama. They can't do nothing because they're like, this person I just was around. She shed some light on my darkness. I don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, start running. Oh, they start running.
A lot of people are comfortable in their darkness too.
And but you know, it's easy to be there. It's easy.
You got to read the book.
Okay. It's so easy to just continue to do things the way that you've been taught to do them or follow ideologies that were just forced into your brain and had you operating almost like a robot.
They don't want to get uncomfortable.
No, but it's so much growth that happens in those uncomfortable places. But you also have to be at a point in your life where you recognize that and you're open. But again, people are not open. And this is part of why this space was created. To shine light on people who have done the work or are doing the work and are talking about how uncomfortable it is. Yet they continue to move through the discomfort and continue to elevate and know, again, like I said earlier, it's not easy, but it flows with ease. The things that are supposed to happen in the way that things are supposed to go, they gonna flow. And tides change. You know what I'm saying? But it's still flowing. Like,
ooh. And then this brings me to something that Will Smith said.
mm-hmm.
Do you remember when he was going through that stage in his life where he was just like doing daredevil stuff?
Yes, and he jumped off that
Yeah.
plane into the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I watched it live.
Yeah, I did too. But he said something about people are always going to be a fear of doing something different in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean you stop.
Yeah.
You just do it scared.
Yes.
And when he said that, and then it's not the exact quote, but it was something along those lines. And I was like, he's not lying.
No.
It's okay to be afraid to do something. It's okay to step outside the box. It's okay
Yep.
to get uncomfortable.
Yep.
Just keep going
Yeah.
and keep doing it.
Yeah.
So, and then it'll always make sense eventually.
Yeah.
You know?
But you have to know that.
Yep.
You have to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And people do it scared, okay? For real. Do it scared. That's the only way.
Yep.
That's the only put one foot in front of the other
Mm-hmm.
and do it.
Yep.
What are some other things that bring you joy? Because I see yoga, you lit up when we started talking about yoga. You love modeling. I can see your passion. I can hear your passion behind that. Are there any other things that, gonna make you cheese from Eddie and grin?
So I love music.
Uh-huh.
That is, I really want to tap back into doing songwriting or be somewhere in the music industry, even though the music industry can be a little weird. Yeah. Just being in those spaces, like concerts. I go to concerts all the time.
And you go to Dolo concerts too.
All the time by myself.
Me too.
I think I went to maybe 11 concerts last year. Only went to one with a person.
I love it.
And all the other concerts, I was by myself. And I love just being able to go dance to my favorite artists and let my hair down. And I'm just enjoying myself. And that just, everything in the world shuts off.
Yep.
All the problems that I have. Okay, I got this bill I got to take care of. Or I got to do this. None of that matters in that space. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in there dancing and I'm having a really good time.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching me. I'm there. So that brings a lot of joy.
Yeah.
People think a concert is just, you just go to a concert, you get a drink, you listen to the song. No, I literally feel that music. You know what I mean?
It's a spiritual experience.
Yeah,
for me.
it is.
Mm-hmm. You speaking my language right there. I'm going to a concert by myself in like 2 weeks. This group that I found on Instagram.
Who are you seeing?
Tiny Habits.
Tiny Habits. I've never heard of them.
It's 3 members. They sing and they sound like one voice. Although they're singing in harmonies, I'll send you some of their.
Yeah, please do.
Interestingly enough, they kind of kicked me into a spiritual awakening. Mm-hmm. I was listening to their music and I got really emotional. And I kept saying that I wanted to have a cry. I needed like a good cleansing cry. Mm-hmm. And so I started getting emotional and I couldn't stop myself. And then I kept going through their music and I started sobbing. But I realized that it took me back to middle school when I fell in love with music for real. And it reminded me of my friendships that I developed when I was in middle school. And then it took me back across the street to my house and the things that were going on. And a lot of memories started. But when I tell you the ball started rolling, and that's when, so the fact that you said that, concerts are like, it's real, music is what?
Yeah, it's therapy.
But yeah, like, so I get that. Concerts.
Oh, so the last concert I went to?
What?
Andre 3000.
Oh, the New Blue. Oh God. So I went to the night the album dropped. I went to Terra Theater and just watched the film, but I saw video, and I know it wasn't any video. Phones allowed inside, but I saw that people got to see it live. It was you. Did you post something when you left out saying that you were there?
Yep, and I said that phones weren't allowed.
So maybe it was yours.
Been more happier.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an experience, and I love that. they didn't allow phones.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool how they had, it was like these little pouches.
Mm-hmm.
They made you shut your phone off, put it in the pouch, and then they locked it.
Oh, good.
And then you can't even take the lock off.
Oh,
So
good.
you got to keep your phone. It just
Uh-huh.
was in a pouch. But Andre just created the music on the spot. It wasn't even anything that he played a couple songs on the album, but it wasn't, most of it was just what they did on the spot. He's like, everything that I'm doing right now, I've never done before.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go off of the vibe, the feeling, and we're just going to have a good time. And I was just like, this is great.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I had these seats that were supposed to be in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I went in there, somebody was sitting in my seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I was a little late. I was probably like 5, maybe 10 minutes late. He had already started. He was on time.
Yeah.
And I walked, I was like, they need in my seat, but I don't want to like cause commotion. So I walked up maybe 6 or 7 rows up, and there was like 2 seats that was on the end that was like direct, right? I was like, this got to be somebody's seat, because I knew they were sold out. Mm-hmm. I sat in the seat and I was like, I'm just prepared for anybody to tell me I'm not supposed to sit here. Nobody came up to me. And I was like, I had a clear vision of Andre. And I was like, this is great. And if I didn't sit there, all these people would have been in front of me. Yeah. You know? But I was on the corner and I was on the side and I was able to get a good view. So I was like, that just was meant to be.
I mean, that's how you know you in alignment with all the things. Mm-hmm. That's so good to me.
Yeah, I got my life that night. I did.
How long was the concert?
About 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah. I love
somewhat.
It. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. I have enjoyed talking to you so much. I like to ask for my guests to give a random story. It could be funny. It could be weird. It could be, but something we would not ever think about. No, I feel you must got some good.
I got a couple stories. Okay. Lord Jesus. So here's a story about how me and my roommates got raided.
But like
real police, right? This was a case of wrong place, wrong time. And I had a 21st birthday party. Like, this was years ago, like when I was with my ex. And it was like a new, it was like the show, The New Girl. So it was like me and my boyfriend in one room. And then his other 2 guy friends had their own room. So it was a 3-bedroom. Okay. And we were just a close-knit group of people. Yeah. So I was like, we're going to throw a 21st birthday party. Of course, I'm the girl. They like, you got to invite all the girls to the party. Yeah. Cool. So I invited a couple people. One of the girls that I invited, cannot speak on her, I love her so much, but somebody that I invited, she was associated with somebody who was on the run. Oh, Lord. She had an acquaintance. An acquaintance that was on the run. He had like harmed a sheriff, like, and I mean like critical condition harmed him when they tried to serve a warrant or something, right? So he was on the run. Yeah. So that simple invite that I sent out to her, literally they thought that he was at my party.
So they came during the party?
Yep.
Oh my God.
During the party. So, and this is how we found out. So we were just partying in the apartment, right? And it wasn't even a lot of people, maybe like 15. And people started coming in. They're like, bro, somebody's like pointing red lasers at us on the patio. We like, what? So it was nothing but woods back there. So like, who's pointing red lasers? So they started coming up close, who was on the ground, and they were clearly police officers in all black. They told them to stay on the patio. So I'm like, what is happening? Before we know it, it's boom, boom, boom on the door. We open up the door. It was a little, they were smoking a little weed. So that's all they needed. Said, oh, we smell weed. Walked right inside the apartment.
Oh my God, girl.
At least 10 officers was in that apartment, and they flipped the entire apartment down. I'm like, mattresses, drawers. Why were they pulling out drawers when they're looking for somebody? They tore up the entire apartment and walked in the living room, had everybody in the living room, got all of our IDs, and they said, we don't care about what y'all are doing. We are looking for one person. And we were like, point them out. Right. Who was the person? Yeah. They had the color print of his face. The print was about this big. And we like, he's clearly not here. Right. We don't know who this person is. So after they just got done questioning us, they realized we didn't know who that person was. Yeah. They said they're sorry and left about their day.
Oh, hell. See? So, did the girl say anything?
I found out the next day. Yep. I found out the next day. She called and she was just like, I don't know what happened, because apparently she got stopped too the same night.
So she wasn't there?
No, she didn't even make it to the party yet.
Oh my God. What?
She was on the way. She didn't even make it to the party yet. Mm-hmm.
Oh, girl, that's a good story.
She was very apologetic, but I was like, bro, like, what if I was really doing illegal stuff in there? I mean, I wouldn't have, but but what if? Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We looked up because everyone that was in there was at least 21 and up. So they didn't really care too much about the whole weed thing. And then like they were searching the whole apartment. They didn't find anything. So obviously we weren't like drug dealers. Yeah. So they didn't care about that. The alcohol, we were all of age to drink the liquor. So there was really nothing to take us all to jail for. And we didn't know who the person was.
Yeah.
So they left.
Please. Happy 21st birthday to you.
Something you will never forget.
No, that is a story.
Yeah, I will never, ever forget that. Talk about your heart pounding.
No, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Yo. Okay. So that is definitely a story that...
I was really trying to figure out what story I was going to bring out, but I'm like, no, the rating story.
No, that's good. That's
not like getting pulled over for a speeding ticket. That's a different type of like.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so what a way to close us out.
I know.
The last question I always ask is, what does green mean to you?
Oh, green means everything good. Mm-hmm. This is why I love the color green, because green represents growth. Yeah. Abundance. Yeah. You got plants. You have, if anybody likes to partake in, ganja. Green lights. Yeah. Everything that is green is just positive. Yeah. Even a go sign is positive. Yep. So I love the color green. That's why it is my favorite color. Yeah. It just represents everything that is growth. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
It was good.
I thought I was just talking to my own girl.
And that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was going to be that way, but I did learn some new things about you. That camera right there, I want you to tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can book you, any happenings that you have coming up. Let the people know.
Hey, y'all. So you guys can follow my Instagram. It's Daniella the Creator. I also have a website, which is www.daniellathecreator.com. I'm signed with Rebel Agency. So if you want to book me, you can always contact Rebel Agency or just DM me and I'll forward you to them. I do have a YouTube that I am starting. So that is Daniella the Creator. Super easy. So that's how to find me.
Yeah. Period. Y'all make sure y'all follow Daniella the Creator, my girl over here, model extraordinaire.
Thank you, darling.
The creator. Okay.
And you the creator too.
I am the creator.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And you blessed.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh.
Come on, abundance.
Listen. Green
all day.
Green. Thank y'all for tuning in for yet another episode of In the Green Room Podcast. We are in season 3, y'all. 3 represents collaboration. 3 represents community. 3 represents all the things. Mm-hmm. We are produced this season by Motion the Community. So give it up to my friends and my family. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Brittany Shanae, BRITTANEY. I forgot it. Oh, BRITTAN. Don't leave the E out.
Brittany Shanae, don't leave the E out.
Oh! Brittany Shanae, don't leave the E out. Yeah, we're going to get it right. No, but make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Also, follow In the Green Room Podcast on Instagram. We are going to be streaming on YouTube and Spotify this season on YouTube. Get at us at In the Green Room Podcast on Spotify, ITGR Podcast. I love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. It's the end of the episode. So guess what? I'm your favorite podcaster now. I love y'all. I will see y'all next week. Thank you for coming, girl. Bye.